'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Susceptible now, before the moment flies, yeah. In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes, yeah. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes, yeah, and nothing can stop me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll find no matter what, yeah. Susceptible now,
Wait, do you
Hi.
want anyone?
Oh, hey,
What
it'll
happened?
go again. And go.
Hey!
There we go.
Wait, this isn't
Hey.
it, Rob.
Okay. Start
Oh,
again.
Do the one
Where-
that's black. That's
And go.
there.
oh,
What's up, guys? I'm Rob. I'm Dem Thighs. Look at the handsome fellow.
that looks good, man. Hey, this is Murph. Real men cry.
What's up, guys? It's Shea, and I'm the girl officially. Welcome to the Waiting Table Podcast, or is it the Winning Table Podcast? You guys tell
Yeah.
me.
That was good. That was it
We'll
looked
call you
That couldn't
nice.
have gone any better. I think that was perfect.
Technical difficulties, guys. We're making it happen. But I really like that intro.
Yeah, it was nice. It was very nice. Good job, Shay.
What do you think of our new virtual space? Can you
No,
see
this is nice
we're
too.
actually at a table?
Is
We
that a
have
table?
a logo. What
That's
do
a
you
real
guys think?
table.
I like it. I like it.
I figured we only had to do the best for the award-winning podcast. You know, we had to kind of refresh it, rebrand it a little bit. So
Yeah,
We'll get
I'll
back
take it.
with all the new stuff.
We'll get used to it, but it'll be good. It'll be good. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Waiting Table Podcast, where we have roundtable discussions about the hottest topics in weight loss with, of course, the coolest people from the bariatric community. I'm Rob. This is Murph. We got Shay. And, of course, we got you guys, thankfully. So grab a chair, wind down from your busy day, take a seat at the table. Murph, what's up, buddy? Award-winning Murph. How's it going, buddy?
Thank you, man. I am on cloud 9.5. I'm doing great.
That's a
Feeling
lot.
great. Yeah, I could not be happier with the way this weekend went, and other than the fact that it went by a little too quick.
Yeah.
But wow, what an amazing experience this was, and to share it in person, physically with you guys. Oh my God, I'm gonna start crying already.
We got to
It
keep
was awesome.
that relevant.
Shay, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, same thing. Just I feel so like energized, and I feel like I'm still processing, and it's gonna take some time. Like I was with you guys in person just a few days ago. Like that part kind of makes me sad. Like it's
Yeah.
like, and now we're back here. Like, and it's good to be home and back in the routine. But it's like we just need to make more time to see each other in person this upcoming year. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I agree. So, oh my God, I'm doing amazing. I am still riding this high. Yeah, I haven't come down from it. It's just to say that this was a great experience is a severe understatement. This was very much a life-changing experience, I think, for me. And it's really put a lot of things into perspective in regards to my life in terms of the direction I'm going. I am a very intentional person. I think I have a good idea of everything I want to do and what I am doing. And this switched it up on me, and in a good way. I think I have way more clarity now than I did beforehand, which is great because I thought I had a lot of clarity before. But no, it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, what are we even talking about? Can we give like a little recap for people that just hopped on? Maybe they're here for the first time. Maybe they've been living under a rock for the last year or so. What are we talking about? What happened this weekend?
So this past weekend was the Just Be You Bariatric Awards. Now, Just Be You Bariatric Awards was a celebration. It was an awards night, awards weekend, actually, where we didn't just celebrate our individual achievements and successes, but collectively as a community. And so, it was held by the Our Sleeve Life podcast girls, the ladies, Mel and Kel, Melly, as affectionately named by Shay.
Celebrity power
That's
couple.
it. That's it. That's their power couple name. And with a lot of amazing sponsors, they put on just such a professional show. And it wasn't even just that. It was the whole weekend. So it was from Thursday all the way till essentially Sunday. We had events leading up to it. We had workouts, group workouts with some of our favorite people. We had a sound bath that was amazing. I was the only one out of us three who went to the sound bath, but it was relaxing. It was focusing. It was great. And yeah, we got to hang out with some people that, for a long time we would just see them on the internet, on Instagram, and they might have inspired us through our journey or motivated us or supported us. And now we got to see them in person live, and that was just absolutely amazing. So
I'm taking it in. I'm like just reminiscing on everything.
But you know what was also really cool? This was the first time that we actually have met in person as well. There's a lot of firsts here. So this is the first time we actually met in person. So we timed our flights to sort of arrive at the same time or really close. And yeah, in the airport, we were all able to meet each other. We were waiting for Murph as he landed, and Shea and I were sort of like tucked away in a corner. And, we were all on Instagram Live as he's walking through the airport, and we're sitting at the airport waiting. And I remember I was yelling randomly to see if I can hear it on his side, just to see how close he was. But no,
It felt
just see,
very, very You've Got Mail-esque.
right?
Like
He's Meg Ryan, we're Tom
100%.
Hanks.
Murph is obviously
Easy.
Meg Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be Meg Ryan.
Tom Hanks and you're the dog. You're Brinkley, Rob.
Wow.
Maybe it's the other way around. I'm not sure.
I've actually never,
It's
I've
Meg
never
Ryan.
seen that movie, but
No?
I know of it.
man.
Dude.
You'd be
Yeah.
crying by the end of it for sure. It's so good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the end.
I bet I will.
That's good.
It's a good one.
But it was
just
such an
so
experience.
surreal. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
such a. I mean, I've watched that clip back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only like 6-7 minutes long, and I've gone back and watched it so many times because it just doesn't seem real. Like the whole weekend was just like a dream sequence.
Does it look like you're looking at a different person? Like it's not you you're watching? That's what I felt like. And I think maybe it's still kind of like weight loss surgery related. Like, oh, I can't believe that's like my body almost. But then it's almost like it doesn't look like it. Does that make sense? Like it doesn't feel like it was me.
Yeah. You're processing the moment in the moment, but then like you're processing all these new things, and like it's like I know your face, I know your voice, I see you in this little rectangle, or the little circles, and Rob and I mean, we met last year right around this time when he came down to Michigan for a wedding. But then like to see Shea, it's like she's a little shorter than I thought she was gonna be, and you know what I mean. And then like to see you like in 4D, it was a trip, and it's like it doesn't feel real because I don't know, it's just so bizarre. It's like when you see a movie star, somebody off screen,
just don't believe it.
You're like, holy crap, is that Liam Neeson? It's like, no, it's not Liam Neeson. You know what I mean? It's just like because the angles are different. You don't see
everything.
Yeah,
you see a whole body. So what was the first? Let's share this because I know that this was part of our.
You were going to ask this, Rob.
Yeah,
love the answer.
Oh yeah, that's why. This is the only reason. We were talking about this as we saw each other as we were taking our Uber, our first of many Ubers in DC. We miss you guys too. Megan posted, I miss everyone. We all miss each other. Yeah, we were talking about, so what was their first thought as we sort of, laid eyes on each other for the first time? We've been doing this. Murph and I have been doing this for a long time. We've met. At Shea, we've been doing this since essentially end of December, January. What were the first things we thought? For Shea, when I saw her and Dylan, her husband, her amazing husband, I'm a big fan of Dylan. I've been talking about Dylan a lot.
Love Dylan.
I'm like, I wish you could be more like Dylan. I'm just kidding.
You're not alone. That's what a lot of people say.
But first thing that came to mind, I was just like, holy crap, I'm going to be chaperoning this weekend because these guys look like friggin' kids. Yeah, you guys look way younger.
Yeah,
than I thought.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for that, but it didn't matter. You're mature. You're awesome. You're fun. All that good stuff. So that's the first thing I thought of Shea. Murph I already met. Yeah, hey Heather. We're over here too. Yeah, with Murph, my main thing when I saw him the first time was, I thought he was a bit shorter than I had thought. In my eyes, you are supremely tall. You're like 6'2".
Yeah, I am.
on
Giving away
Instagram, you
all of
are.
our secrets.
On
You
Insta- yeah,
guys.
on Instagram, I'm
I'm a giant.
I'm a giant on Instagram, but in person, just a wee little guy.
It's all good,
Just a
man.
wee little
But
fella.
then I heard some people say Murph because like you say that like who was it that was like, oh,
Petite.
you're
He's
taller
petite
than
Murph.
they're like, you always say you're petite, but you were taller than I was imagining. You did get one of those comments.
I did. I don't remember who said that, but I was just like,
Justin, maybe? I don't know.
thank you.
Yeah, Justin
it
was
might have
being
been
nice.
Justin. Yeah.
Yeah. Small on the
polite.
outside, big where it matters. Right here, guys. Right here. That's where he's big. Murph, how about you? First impressions.
First impressions? Well, Rob, last year when I first met you, I thought, wow, this dude is taller than I thought. And your shoulders are really broad. You've got broad shoulders. I wasn't expecting that. But that's old news. With Shea, I just thought she was shorter in person than I thought she was going to be. And then Dylan was taller than I thought he was going to be. I thought they were more the same height, but Shea's, and Dylan was, and his hair was more
immaculate,
beautiful than I could have imagined. I mean, the screen does not
don't do it justice. Truly,
no, unless you're inside of it, the hair, it's like
just get up all in there,
put your face right in it. Yeah,
yeah. It's funny though because like when we're talking about this and we're talking about everything, that's one of the first things we hear. It's bedtime. I don't know if you heard that. It's bedtime. Good night, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on another episode of. But that's one of the first things we notice, right? Like, we notice height. I was interested because I was just like, that wouldn't have been what I thought. That height would be the first thing. But I guess if you see someone walking towards you in the airport, that's sort of like, height. But it's interesting that's the thing that sort of distinguishes or confuses us or surprises us about each other when you meet each other. Right?
Yeah.
Heather says, "I'm 5'1". Everyone is tall." Except Murph.
Heather was surprisingly. I didn't think I saw Heather and I was like, is that Heather? But it was.
And then she was super
different.
Powerful.
It was so just weird. But like such a cool weird, like it's like it was so hard to process.
Real people.
Yeah.
How about you, Shea?
Well, Rob loves my answer because the first thing I saw or I said, I think when I met him, like, oh my gosh, you're so tall. Like I was shocked, and I agree with what Murph said. Like he looks like a life-size action figure is how Rob looks in real life, and I know his head is just gonna like get even bigger than it is now. No, that was really surprising. And then Murph, I feel like Murph, you look like a legit celebrity in person. Like when I saw you, I was like, with Rob, I was like, it was easier for me to make a connection. Like, yeah, this is Rob, like who I've been seeing this whole time. For some reason with you, Murph, I was like more starstruck.
Agree.
Like you have this like celebrity like aura about you where I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, like it's Murph, like oh yeah, but like he's my friend. It's this, like why am I getting all weird? Like you had like a celebrity aura about you that I wasn't prepared for.
It was probably just the purple pants.
Is it purple pants?
I mean, it definitely set you up in that way.
Because most guys, aren't manly enough to either cry or wear purple pants, but I do both. And
both. Bam.
Yeah.
I agree.
Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. But
so let's do it this way. Let's walk through the events because it sounds like we're doing that. So after that, we took our Uber. We met our amazing roommates. Holy crap!
We all three fit in the back of the Uber together.
Yes,
that was such a cool NSV. I'm like, look at us guys! Like all three of us back here, not too cramped. It was awesome.
My leg
That's
wasn't
pretty cool.
sweating against someone else. I wasn't super self-conscious of my
No.
leg causing them to sweat, going over their invisible barrier line of this is my seat, this is your seat. But yeah, we took our Uber. We got to our house. We got an Airbnb for us and some friends, and we met our amazing roommates who were there. Michelle had joined us, gas by Granny, as in gastric bypass Granny, not gas.
Sure of
Yeah.
that.
But Bariatric Jenna was one of our roommates. She was the one who opened the door, and get fit with D. D is our boy.
Yeah.
He's been our supporter from the very beginning. D and Mary have always been there for us, but D was there. They were waiting with open arms,
Yeah.
and instantly the connection we had with everyone in our house was just amazing.
Yeah.
Right, everyone got along so well. There was no issues at all. Everyone just vibed really, really well. Everyone was so helpful for everything, and this wasn't as indicative as when we did the podcast, right?
Yeah.
And like everyone is helping do all these things. Everyone's like doing all this stuff. Jenna's all the way with all these cameras, and she's communicating and doing all this stuff. And it was just amazing, the group that we had. I will
very
cherish
Big Brother-esque.
100%, but without like the
so
cattiness and stuff.
Without the drama, no drama.
Yeah, without the drama. No drama.
Yeah, but it was amazing.
And then my dad and his girlfriend came later.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend had bariatric surgery as well. So that was super cool because she didn't know that this community existed really before then. So I was really happy that you guys got to meet Gringo Rob, meet my dad, and get to see what he was all about. What were your impressions of him? Because you guys had met him online. I think he's still watching.
He was exactly as I
100%.
imagined.
Exactly.
I mean, like to the T. If I could create him,
Yeah.
I mean, and we'd already met with him once before.
On
You know,
Instagram.
6 months ago, 7 months ago, on Instagram. Well, no,
on our
we had
show.
him.
On the show.
We did the family. We did the family thing. Rob, your brother, came.
Hi, Shay.
Hey, what's up,
Can you
dude?
give her heart hands?
Yes, hard hand.
Go to bed. Go to bed.
Right, Marcus?
Go to bed. Are you coming to the next trip or no?
He totally.
No, he
was,
said no.
Let's go party it up in Vegas, Marcus. I think we should. Yeah, let's go swimming in Vegas.
Do it.
He can't hear you.
Oh, right. Tell him I want to take him swimming in Vegas.
Okay, you go to bed, buddy.
No.
Okay, bye. Give me a kiss.
Good night, Marcus.
They all say good night, buddy.
Later, Tater.
Good night.
Good night.
You want to say good night to them? Go. Hurry, man. We're live.
Good
This is
night.
serious business. We won an award for this crap, man. Go.
He's the reason we'll win next year. No, I'm just
I
kidding.
know. There you go. Followers. Bye.
To get married like a big staff just to like bring
Yeah. The hook. So let's talk about the live podcast for our Sleeve Life podcast. That was the first time we got to actually see everyone else in the community, or a lot of the people, some of the presenters. I remember like we had been talking about our outfits for a long time in regards to what we're wearing. And so we knew what we were wearing. We knew all this stuff. I know with me, I wanted us to walk in because, you know, some people didn't know other people there. And I wanted to walk in and people to be like, holy crap, that's the waiting table. Because there's 3 of us and we came in with D, we came in with Jenna. There's like 5 of us coming in all together. We're all like snazzied up and dressed up nice. I'm just like, this is going to be, let's make an impact. Let's go. And yeah, and brought backups for the backup. 100% we did. All planned. Everything's planned. You can't be in a group with Shea and Rob without having a superfluous amount of planning. And we did lots of planning. So no, it was great meeting everyone and seeing everyone. I remember I was super intimidated. I don't know if that came across to people, but I was intimidated because
the sign in the corner did make that a little
right. And then the pee down the leg that I had to go to the bathroom.
It made it a little obvious, but
a little. But yeah, for me, I'm just like, this is the first time I've never gone to a meetup. All these guys have like crazy followings. These people have, you know, stamp their mark on the bariatric community. And here it's like, hey guys, we're the waiting table. I don't know why. Who was that? Who was making that voice if that's who we were talking, us three?
Marcus.
That's Marcus. I brought my son just for that. But yeah, like, but once we started talking with people, and obviously some people know who you are, some people don't. I'd never assume that they wouldn't, but it was oh, good night. Bye. Look, see, we have to pause the whole show for my kids.
Now saying good night to you.
Okay, yeah. Good night.
Good night.
Love you,
Good
bro.
night, Shay. Good night, Murph.
But yeah, like everyone is just super, super nice. She walked into the door. What a bobo. Everyone was just super nice. Everyone was super welcoming. Everyone was just so amazing. And I think that really helped set the tone for the weekend,
Even some of the conversations were like continued like we'd already started talking, like we've already met, we already got, like, the pleasantries were over. We just jumped right into conversations and just like, hey, what's up? Like, oh, did you go to that thing that you were talking about? And like, like some of the conversations were just like, did you try that new Built Bar? And like because like some of the people there were our ambassadors that I know are ambassadors like me. So I was just like, oh my god, did you try that new chunk puff cookies and cream? And and then we had a conversation about Built Bars. It was just like, what? Like I feel like I've known these people forever, and then yeah, just jumping right in. It was a lot of fun. It was really cool.
Yeah, there were multiple times, like, it started that night, but then after, we're like, I just said out loud, like, oh my gosh, this is like kind of overwhelming. Just like, I think Murph and I talked about this, where it's like having more overwhelming things that are negative feel more familiar, right? Like when you have trauma in your life, or just life gets hard, and it's like when there's a lot, and life feels overwhelming, it tends to be for like more negative reasons. It was very odd, in a cool way, being surrounded constantly by such good. And that felt overwhelming and really uncomfortable at times, just because it's like, there's so much good in one place. It's just kind of a lot. So I said that multiple times, where it's like, wow, this is just like a lot. It's overwhelming with how much good there is. Like, and it's cool and different, it was just amazing.
Yeah. Almost too much good and positivity. And you don't know what to do with it. It's just like, it's overflowing.
I know what to do with it. You take it down. That's exactly. I don't know what that was. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, I'm gonna assume those were shots, but I'm not 100% sure. But that was, I think, for me. For any, like, all my friends, my wife knows. She's just like, you bought shots, didn't you? I'm like, yes, I did. In fact, we spent about $1,000 worth of shots. Not just me, collectively on that first night. But like, I think getting out of that main room that we were in, which is a nice room, we were having great conversations. But once we got everyone outside, sitting at the bar, loosening up, I feel like that's really when everyone started opening up and really talking about whatever. And like I told Mercedes this afterwards when we came back. Mercedes, they were very big shots. Not good for us, because I remember there was a point where I was like very cool and nonchalant. I'm like, yeah, let's sit down and talk. But it's because I couldn't stand anymore. But I told Mercedes, I was just like, do you realize we spent this whole weekend talking and hanging out? Like, Mercedes was like, Murph and I, that's our go-to. We were like hanging out till late every night and just chilling and talking and stuff. I'm like, we never once talked about our bariatric journey. Do you know how important it is for us to not be defined by our bariatric journey? Sure, we're here because of our bariatric journey, 100%. But there's so much more to us. And I think it's important to recognize that as we get to this part of our life's journey, right? Like I'm a dad. I am a this. I am a that. I inspire people. I'm a peer mentor. I do all these things. Sure, I'm a bariatric patient, but there's so much more. And I loved having those conversations with people and just getting to know people. We said this on the live yesterday. Shay, I know you're traveling, so you didn't see it, but Barry Godmother was on there, and early on it was Barry Godmother. I don't remember exactly who, but Oh, Leslie was there, and someone else I'm gonna remember later. And yes, Netta talking and dancing. She's my dance partner. But when they came on, I'm like, hey, Leslie, hey, Christine, hey, whoever I'm not remembering. And I was just like, do you know what's awesome? I'm not saying, hey, Barry Godmother, hey, whatever. We're someone, right? We're not a handle on Instagram. We are people. And I absolutely love that. I love those discussions throughout the week.
Yeah. I want to share this comment. Speaking of Christine, the Barry Godmother, I think this is so helpful to have this in context. But she said, it's unfamiliar, so your brain perceives the positivity as a threat at first, thus the overwhelm, until your nervous system realizes you're safe. And that's like exactly like that describes it perfectly of how I felt. And when I knew I was safe was after I took that first shot with you guys. I was like, okay, I'm chilling now. I'm vibing.
So what was your shot experience, Shay?
I know. So prior to meeting Rob, that's kind of where it started. No, I'm just not a drinker. I never have been. It's when I drink alcohol, like before surgery, like I would never get to like the buzzed phase. It would just be like I would drink something and then feel sick. So I'm like,
Yeah.
why would I want to do that? So in my life, prior to meeting Rob, I only have ever had 2 shots in my life. One was Malibu rum and one was tequila, I think. And then with Rob, I was like, okay, I'll do it. Like everyone was doing it. And
We're
what
in
did
DC. It'll
what
be
was it? I don't
fun.
even what did
It was
you get?
tequila. Oh, it's tequila.
Okay. But yeah, I just got like half of it. But I was like, okay, I'm vibing. It was cool. And then ended up doing another one, which I think like combined probably equaled out to 1 shot. But I was like,
No,
he
these
got
were double shots.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why they were so much.
Yeah, they're strong. But you took like a champ. Everyone did. And then all of a
Thank you.
sudden I look around and those tables by the street or by the sidewalk are full of us. And inside the bar is full of us. And everyone's just sitting there and hanging out and talking. And it was
And
just freaking cool.
spouses, like this, that was so freaking cool to have like the spouses able to connect and like
Yeah.
it was so cool.
It was awesome. And I think and that's where we sort of established the waiting table. See, I'll group us together as like, yeah, hey, we're the bad influences of this thing. See how I put you guys all with me?
And I too though want to say, because we kind of like skipped to the end of that night, but being there for the Our Sleeve Life podcast, live podcast was so freaking cool. I got to attend the live one when I went to Chicago over the summer, but this like the setup was so cool. It's so fun how they can like interact with you in person while they're doing their podcast. So if you ever have a chance to go to a live podcast, whether it be Our Sleeve Life podcast, maybe one of our podcasts, it's a really fun experience. So that was super cool.
Yeah, and it was good to go to that too, because then we got to see what like a real podcast looked like, right? Because we were just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, that's how it's done.
Oh, that's what they
That's
do.
how you do it in person.
Yeah.
And they're such naturals. I mean, they just roll with it. I mean, that's years. Yeah, I mean, they've been best friends, and they just get on there and just start talking, and you can't learn that. I mean, that's something that they have that I totally appreciate. I love what they do.
And you get to see it more, especially from our point of view as people who do podcasts. I know that when I listen to podcasts, when I see, especially watching someone with a live podcast, it's interesting to see how their chemistry is, right? Like, I think we have great chemistry. I think, especially considering that, Shay, I've known you 9 months, right?
I'm
and
like a baby. You've been pregnant for 9 months with me.
Yeah, you're my little baby. But yeah, 100%. Like it's, I think we have great chemistry. We get along so well. And I think that's why, for me personally, I love our podcast. I love what we do and what we talk about. Also with all the values that we bring in and everything we want from it. But yeah, so watching them, it was fun to sort of see how they do things, how they roll with it, how they touch on certain things. Yeah, it was a great experience, I think, from that. So let's fast forward a bit to the actual award shows, because I know that I know Friday we're missing out, but for the sake of time, I want to make sure we get to the real deal. So Murph, tell us about the award show, about everything, how it started, all those good things.
So the award show started with the pink carpet event that we waited in line for, and then we weren't able to be a part of that pink carpet event. But it was still cool to like mingle and talk. I mean, we got there kind of early, and we were able to, just mingle and talk and get set up and get our wardrobe changes ready and all that down in the green room, and then got in line, and then I was really bummed that we missed the pink carpet event. I didn't realize it was only from like this time to that time.
Yeah,
it was going to be a hard cut, at right at 7:00. And so
Dee and Meg were amazing.
We were next up, I think behind Aaron and Justin, her and her husband. And they were bummed, and we were bummed. But yeah, Dee and Meg, they
killed it.
Of course,
killed it.
And that was something that they had been leading up to doing, with their little segments, and it was awesome.
And it was so beautiful, the broadcast. Like, if you guys haven't seen it yet, like, it looks like you're watching E. Like, it was so professional looking, and
so good.
It's just like a TV show. It was so cool.
And the other thing too, and I think this is what I took from it, the fact that there was such a slow moving line is indicative of how much people were excited about showing out, right? Like, and we can tell you this as we were on the presenters chat, there was nonstop for weeks talking about what you're wearing, your shoes, your dresses, what you're changing to, because people were so excited about all they've done, physically, and being able to show that off. And I loved seeing it. I loved seeing everyone. So lots of feet pics. There were lots of feet pics. Yes. I loved seeing everyone so excited. So, as much as I would have liked to have gotten to the pink carpet, I was super happy that it was such a big success and what that all meant.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
And then I was so excited so you guys remember Dr. Shivers? He was on our show. When was he on? Like several months ago. Now he was kind of
very, very long.
Right? Yeah.
We've had him on a couple happy hours too. I remember the last time we saw him, he was on the treadmill.
That's right.
What a scammer. He wasn't on the treadmill. He's like, "Oh, I'll be in a second." He's like,
he just ran over it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm working out.
But he, I mean, when I met him on our show, I was like, oh my gosh, coolest, most down to earth guy. He was Rob's surgeon for plastic surgery. And he got nominated for Best Plastic Surgeon in the event. So we've been talking with him for the last few months, like, you need to come, like, try to get out here. He was kind of going back and forth. You can tell this next part, Rob, if you want, because then he.
Oh, yeah. So we had been talking for, a couple weeks now, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to see if I can come. And then he'd send me his flight. I'm like, dude, you're going to arrive at 5:00. And then your flight out is going to be 10. He was going to fly out the same night. So 10 p.m. I'm like, so we're in Canada. So you have to be there 2 hours early. So you'd have to be at the airport at 8. So you're going to stay for like 2 or 3 hours, and then you got to go back. I'm like, no, not even worth it, man. And so we had been going back and forth. He's like, okay, let me think about it. And then earlier that week, he just messaged out of the blue. He's just like, I'm still trying to come. I'm like, all right, man, but don't worry if you can't. And full out in my head thinking there's no way he's going to make it. And I would talk him out if he was going to fly out the same day. And then the morning of, we're at the rehearsal. And then he messages me, and he's like, I'm coming. And he sends me his flight. He's staying over. And I'm just like, oh my God. And I went to go find Erin, because Erin also had talked with Dr. Shivers, and she has a relationship with him as well. And so it was like, we were so excited that he was coming. And then when he landed, he sent a picture of him at the airport in front of the plane. And then when he landed, he's like, oh, I'm here. And he took a picture from like outside of the theater. And Aaron and I were just like running. It was like Where's Waldo? We're just trying to find Dr. Shivers. And once we finally saw him, it was just like the most amazing thing, because he didn't expect to win. He didn't know what this award ceremony was. He would even ask Aaron, he's just like, is this like a legit thing, or is it just like you guys are just sending me here to just, we're going to a boardroom or something, you're going to give me a ribbon,
right?
But he didn't know. And so he was like, holy crap, this is like a big deal, this is amazing. So he was going with the sole reason of supporting the waiting table and Aaron. And that's the type of guy he is. He didn't expect to win. He didn't expect anything. He was there to support us. And So when Meg got up there and announced that he won, I told these guys, like, literally, I felt like it was a member of the waiting table, like a member of our family who won. I was so excited. It was so amazing.
He was
And
just
then,
so shocked. It was so cute. He was just
right?
so surprised. I mean, we all were. All were surprised. It was so fun.
Yeah, like he was just like, I can't even practice in the States. I'm like, doesn't matter, man. You're doing good work. People like you. You got that hot Mark Ruffalo. There's a hashtag, Dr. Shivers. Dr. Shivers make me shiver. He's a looker, ladies. That's Dr. Shivers.
He's so sweet, though. Just the most down to earth
Yeah.
person. So kind. Great at dancing. He's
Yeah.
in all regards.
And I've been talking with him a lot since. I'm just like, okay, when are we gonna go do this? Because he wants to, he wants to play pickleball with me. He wants to hunt with me. He wants to do all these things. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. How about stop working? And once you stop working for a day and let your patients be, then let's go hang out. And amazing guy. I'm super happy that he won, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And that Rising Stars video.
Yes, Kelly did an amazing job. Her pride and joy of showing the rising stars. And that's where I think, let me make sure I'm getting this right. It's where all the people who are nominated is all in one place, right? So
Correct.
it's kind of cool just to see like people that just see everybody in one place. And I know she takes, all right, wait, is Christine talking about you and Murph or
Yes,
easy on
Dr.
the
Shivers. He is easy on the eyes.
That is very true. But anyway, that was really cool. And I know Kelly put a lot of work into that and it showed. That was really needed. Like I just was like, that's what got me, just seeing everybody all at once. It's like, wow,
right?
guys are here.
And the cheering for everyone. Like I remember as the page would turn, people would be like, oh, there's this person, this person, this person. And it was just like, whether they're here or not, it was just so awesome to celebrate. I remember Justin's picture getting up there. And it was like, for me, like one of the proudest feelings I've had seeing Justin up there, because Justin is an amazing guy. If you guys don't know, Justin drove 3.5 hours the morning of our 8 a.m. podcast. So he left at like 4:30 to be on the podcast and to hang out with us. And I felt like that's one of my biggest regrets or things I felt bad. Like I felt it was such a machine gun day. Like we were going, go, 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 go.
Mhm.
I told him afterwards, I'm like, I wish we can do this again where I can actually sit down and spend time with you, because you're an amazing person, amazing friend, not just to the podcast, but to us individually. And so when I saw him up there, I was like, yes, I was so happy. Megan has a great question. I'm going to let you guys answer this while I think. Question for y'all. I say y'all too.
Yeah.
Who did you meet at JBY that you didn't even know about and so happy you did? That's a good question.
That's a great question. I've got a quick answer for that. But I knew of this person, Rob Motivation. So the thing is, I didn't know he was going to be there. So I wasn't like prepared.
That was very clear that you did not know that.
I didn't know he was going to be there, and so he showed up, and I was just
and
like,
you were like,
"Oh my gosh, this Rob Motivation!" Yeah. Oh no, I was so yeah. So I had, but I was so happy that he was there, and glad that he took the time, and I was rather surprised that he took the time to like get to know me and hear my story and like share his story with me, and like and it was one of those conversations where you just pick up where you left off, sort of thing. And it was just kind of one of the highlights of so I knew of him, but I didn't know he was going to be there. So I'm kind of cheating on the question a little bit.
Yeah,
but I kind of knew because I had that spreadsheet going. I did my research. So I just didn't know he was going to be there, and he didn't either until a couple days before. So so it was like a shock to me, and I wish I'd have done more research. No, I'm just kidding. But it was a good experience.
Have you shared?
I have two. One was India. I did not know her, and but her outfits that she wore, like mind blowing, incredible.
Wow.
Like I was just like, I just was fangirling over her outfits, because I'm really trying to be like more bold and more like courageous with my outfit choices, and she just like nailed it. It was so fun to see her outfits. And then I talked with her and found out her thing is like butterflies. And that was my theme for the award show, where I had butterfly earrings and bracelets just to kind of symbolize transformation. So that was really cool. And then the other person was Des. I had never heard about Des, and funny connection. So she lives in LA, and that's where I grew up. I found out that one of my best friends, Taylor, you guys might have seen her. She's done like videos and stuff with me. She worked with Des for a summer at Hume Lake like 10 years ago. And like, what are the chances of that? That's so crazy. So anyway, funny there, but I hadn't heard of her, and she was just such a sweetheart. And I'm excited that I got to talk with her a bit. So those are my two.
Oh my God. And I'm still racking my brain. I even opened my Instagram to try to, there's so many. So for anyone who wasn't sure, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty clear, I am not the most active on Instagram compared to Murph and Shea. And so like it was harder for me. I didn't know as many people. I would say, and this is, I think, a continuation till after. But Megan actually was who asked the question. You are definitely one of them. Like I knew about you. I believe I followed you before, just before, as I'm sort of reading about people and people are commenting in the presenters chat. But to sort of see your journey, to see your energy, and see everything that you've done, was amazing. And we've been talking a bit afterwards. I think it was like the day after, like Sunday, as I'm waiting to go home, we're messaging. And obviously we had this connection over fitness, but conversations with Megan really put things in perspective for me. And she was very motivating and inspiring, but she was also very supportive about me doing certain things. And that was very, very helpful for me. Mercedes is another one. Mercedes is the most unassuming.
Cool.
Yeah, she's like the most unassuming person. Like you walked in, I think Murph was like, "Oh, is she part here? Does she work here?" Because she's sort of just standing there and doing her own thing. And like I've never met someone, and especially at this event, I hadn't met anyone who just absolutely, if they come talk to me, cool. If not, cool. Regardless, I'm just good, right? And she's like super comfortable. It came across that she's super cool and comfortable with who she is and everything she's done, and she didn't feel the need to sort of like, I gotta primp up and present myself in a specific way. She's like, no, this is me. I'm Mercedes. Let's go find pizza. I'm like, cool, let's go find pizza. And she's like, let's find noodles. I'm like, let's find noodles. Right? Like me and her, we still have to find noodles next time we hang out. I said that if she comes on our pod, I'm going to be eating noodles, and she has to eat noodles too. But yeah, I think those are the two for me, that really, I didn't have the greatest relationship or know much about them previously, but definitely happy that I did get to spend time with them. Mercedes might be your soulmate. She's friggin' awesome. Mercedes, great.
Yes.
So what were your highlights? Like, and everyone else, feel free in the comments to throw in your highlights, but from the actual event. So let's just talk about JBY's Saturday night. What were your highlights of the event? So let's go top 3 for everyone.
So for me, I loved all of Mel and Kel's dresses. I thought that was so fun. I just loved all their outfits and seeing what they were going to come out in next. That was really fun. So that was one. Number 2, okay. Number 2 is probably your tights, Rob. I loved that. That was super fun watching. And it was so cool being in the crowd and watching you guys like up on stage. Like, oh my gosh, those are my friends. Those are who I'm on the podcast with. Like, I just had so much like pride and admiration, and that was just super cool. And then third, I'm going to kind of group it together, but obviously like winning best live series, best podcast for our show was just like so validating, so cool. And so like that's lumped in. But even more than that, like getting to present Murph's award. I was
Yeah.
hoping that he was going to be the one that won. If not, I was thinking like that would be kind of mean to have us be the ones presenting. But like, I think that stole the show for me, or like what my favorite part was of like getting to be up there and like present the award to him and watching him accept. Like that was just really, really cool.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites. Murph, how about you, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, hands down, that was one of my favorite moments of the night, was receiving that award from you guys. And it wasn't until like you guys were up on stage, and then my name, like that's my category, because we were running around. I mean, we had to like present, and like,
Oh yeah,
We didn't see the show pretty much at all. Like we
we
have to show
hardly
like
missed. I mean, yeah, we hardly saw any of the show. And so I sat down, and then you guys were up on stage, and then like I thought to myself, wait a minute, hold on,
should I be up there?
Category. No, I'm just thinking like I'm in this category. Do they know something I don't know, or is this gonna go down like this? And all of a sudden, like my blood just like ran to my feet, and I was like, no way. Like, is this a thing? Like, did they plan this out or something like that? And then sure enough, and I just like, I don't even remember how I acted.
I watched the video of how you reacted, and it's exactly what you're explaining.
I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I just like so out of body. Yeah, Shea was talking about something like, just so everybody knows, like, this is the first time we've met or something like that. I didn't even know. I don't even remember her saying that until I watched the video, and I was like, oh, she said all that.
I watched it back and I was like, oh, like I felt bad for saying that, because it looked like I didn't want it to seem like I was making it about me. But prior to that, you had gone to the bathroom.
Dude, man.
And so I was like, oh no, if he does win, where is he? And then I didn't see you. And so I'm like, oh gosh, me and Rob are going to have to like filibuster a bit. And then I didn't realize we were down there the whole time. So I'm like, I'm watching that back. I'm like, oh shoot, like I hope I wasn't trying to like make it about me in that moment with you. I legit thought that you were still in the bathroom and we were gonna have to like fill it in for a bit.
I was so dehydrated. I did not drink enough water. Like Friday,
and the one time I got to pee was a very inopportune time, just saying.
I was drinking a lot of water, and I was freezing. I was shaking so bad. Even Zach was like trying to find me a cup of coffee.
Yeah, because we sent him
for you.
Zach friggin' hated you, just so you know, that whole night. Like, he loved you, but he hated you because he was just like, I need to get your friggin' co-host a cup of coffee. I'm like, what a friggin' diva. And then when we were going up,
Zach, just so you know, Zach is Kelly's boyfriend.
Yes,
bariatric surgery,
and he's amazing.
He was like running the show too.
Yes.
Like he was an MVP, and I'm adding him to my person list. I loved meeting him.
And he was like, I was actually thinking about him too. And so we are, Shea and I are getting ready to go and do the announcement for the presentation for those nominees, and because we saw Murph go downstairs, and we're like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And we're like, "No, we can't go. We can't go. We gotta go." I'm like, Zach, because Zach comes here. You got to find Murph. He's like, again? I'm like, yes, again. And that's what you said, Shea. You're just like, yeah, this guy's squirrely. Sort of. We always have to just keep him on a tight leash or something like that. But yeah, because we were just like, I had said to Rob, Dad Rob, and Dave, I'm like, you guys need to go find Murph. And he's like, no, we got to do this. Then we saw Zach, and we're like, go.
It was so cold. It was so cold in there. And Heather saying that, there were no hot drinks. Zach said he could get me some tea, and I was like, no, Zach, I want coffee.
And then he splashed it on his face.
I flipped my hair in his face. Get me coffee now. No, I was just so cold. I drank a lot of ice water, and then I had to go to the bathroom a lot, and then I I
walked back at one point. Like, it wasn't just cold for bariatric people. Like, I walked back one time, and like Dr. Shivers and Dylan, my husband, were just like
nuzzling each other.
Like they were cold too.
Angie said that across the street to the wrestling match. I think they had some, barrel fires going over there.
That's it.
Would have been nice.
Angie says, I enjoyed watching the men's panel and hearing the guys' side of the journey. 100%. I thought that was fun to be a part. I was very honored to be a part of that, because to be up there and to share our journey, like that's what the waiting table has always been about, sharing the men's journey. That's what Murph and I have always been about. sharing the men's journey. So yes, I enjoyed being part of that. Very humbling to be asked to be a part of that. So that was great. Oh, Dr. Shivers. Yeah.
Shivers. Wah, wah,
Go
wah.
The whole mood.
keep them warm.
Can I just say though, like I think the next like biggest I love being on the men's panel, but I think the thing that made me smile the most, other than like us winning our awards and then me figuring out like I think I'm about to win an award, and then I had this big poop eating grin on my face. Barry Godmother with the bubbles. Like
Yeah, Christine.
Yes.
I feel like it's the only part of the show where I actually like really pulled my phone out and I was like, I gotta get this. Like this is so good. And what she was saying about like the effect that you have on people, and you just float around sometimes and you talk and you mingle and you don't even realize that you're interacting and touching people's lives, and like, oh man, she had me in my feels, big smile on my face. Absolutely love our Barry Godmother, Christine.
And this was her debut appearance, like Barry
Right?
debut.
She had the wand and everything. I mean, oh yeah,
kick-ass
She
boots
slayed.
for ass whooping, if that's what's needed. She said.
She had her
my
asking.
kids were calling her Miss Frizzle.
Yeah.
School bus
From
and
Magic School
she
Bus.
loved that. I told her because I knew she'd appreciate that, and she was like, "Yes, like that's such high praise and such a great compliment."
Yeah.
So freaking cool.
That was awesome.
Hi, baby. Thanks.
My dad said, really enjoyed Murph's acceptance speech. True emotion, crybaby, loved it. That was love because he's a crybaby too. He
Real
cries
men cry.
all the time.
Yeah, man. When he was leaving, he was tearing up, and I absolutely loved it. Your
I'm
dad's
gonna
awesome.
get my dad one of your merch shirts that says hashtag real men cry.
Real men cry.
Speaking of that, really quick, just to throw it out there for those that are wondering, I'll put a link in the comments here. But the waiting table has merch, you guys. You can see that we're wearing this, which will tell where we're wearing this on. We wore it on Sunday. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, we have merch with a few different designs, and they're all kinds of merch. We have shirts, sweatshirts, hats. We have baby onesies.
Speedos.
No, we don't have Speedos yet. Those are going to have to be specially ordered.
Not yet.
But go check it out because we have our logos, but then we have hashtags for each of us. So we have hashtag Dem Thighs for Rob, of course, hashtag Real Men Cry for Murph, of course, and then hashtag The Girl for me, of course. So I'll put a link in the comments here, but go check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the best marketing team. I literally said to Eddie, do you think I could buy one? Yeah, at 8:30. Yes, you can buy one of those shirts. We actually had, so Shea just put this all up, and then it wasn't long right after that, she was like, oh my God, someone bought our shirt already. And then my wife was like, was that you? I'm like, no, it wasn't me. But yeah, like it was pretty awesome.
It was a pink football shirt. So, I mean, maybe it was you, but I don't think so.
Could be. No, it wasn't me, but no, it was pretty awesome. And yeah, like I absolutely love it. It was awesome. I enjoy it. I sort of was looking through it. I'm like, I want to buy this hat. I want to get this. I want to get this. So I'm gonna be covered head to toe with Dem Thighs. Head to toe.
Head to toe. I think it was my mom actually that bought that.
Was it?
Awesome.
Yeah, I think
that makes
it's
me feel
like
less
that's her
cool.
style. That's like what she always wears stuff like that in pink. And she's in North Carolina, which is where that shirt was.
Oh yeah.
So I'm thinking it was her, and I just shared the link with her yesterday, so I think it was her.
Nice.
Yeah.
In terms of my highlights, so I will say, so number one, I think, was winning for best podcast. Like obviously I love, I was very honored that we won for best live series, but podcast specifically, because that's what this has always been, right? And I remember writing a lot of the speech and like really, really hitting me in the feels when doing it, because it was everything that we wanted to do, everything that we wanted it to be. And the podcast has become and morphed into this amazing thing. And the amount of people who would come up to us and talk to us about things, and even if they haven't, tell us that they heard about it from this person or this person, and to see the support that we had, it meant a lot to me. And it comes back to not only the community and supporting us, but like the guests who have been willing to jump on the podcast, the guests who've been there, who are willing to provide their experience and their expertise. And I had this conversation with a lot of people. A lot of people are just like, yeah, you're like, every podcast is going to be a bit different, right? Some are going to be very, educational. Some are going to be this. Ours has always been about get to know the person, right? Because there's always a story, right? And, the whole idea about the waiting table is we're gathering around the table, breaking bread and sharing our stories. And so it's never been, and that's why we always felt bad about Dr. Shivers, because, he was bombarded with questions, and it was just like an hour of Ask Dr. Shivers. And it was like we didn't really get to know him. And that was the one, I think, for us that said that we were just like, no, we can't do that. Like, we want to hear the story. We want to know about the person and why they're passionate about our community. And so I think from there on, it's always been about that. We've had specialists on, and we've asked certain things, but it's always been about them, why they like this community, why they support this community, why it's important. And we definitely, we sprinkle glitter on every person we reach. Glitter that is easily cleaned off, not like the ones that you girls all used that could not exfoliate off.
Be there until next year.
Yeah, exactly. So that was number one for me. Number two was, I wanted to say just being in that room, but I've already said that a lot, so I'm not going to say that. That's like my 2A, just had to mention it. Murph being there to give Murph his award was amazing. Him using my pocket square was so cool. Thanks, Murph.
Anytime.
But
we got to get some handkerchiefs with our merch designs on it. I'll try to work on that.
Pocket square, not a handkerchief. It's not for boogers.
It's a hanky.
It's not a hanky.
Was using it definitely.
I know, but
that was not
when
funny.
I was up there and you were talking. It brought me back to the conversation we had when we first met. With on Men's Health Mondays with Rob, and the conversations we had after that, about you going through your journey and the challenges you were having and the struggles you were having, and to see you come out on top, not just, hey, I lost all this weight, whatever. We lost weight. There's lots of people who lose weight. This is not what any of this is about. But the person you've become, the confidence that you have gained, the amount of people you inspire with your journey, with sharing what you share. Like I always say this, and I've said it many times over the weekend, and I'll continue to say that Murph is the everyman's man, right? Like, he's the one that I imagine people come in, watch the waiting table, and they're like, fuck, that's me, right? And I absolutely love that about Murph. And I think the fact that the community recognizes that, and everything you've gone through and everything you continue to put out for other people and be there for people. Like, you have all these great relationships with so many people, not because you have a lot of followers, not because of your journey, but because of you as a person. And so being up there, for me, it was my honor to announce you as the winner. So that was very important for me. And then to get mentioned in your speech was, that meant a lot to me. So I loved doing that. We've talked about, Amy Montgomery says, we've talked about that Shea in my life situation. Oh, I thought you were going to say like, oh, you like Shea is important. I'm like, she's not really important. And then the third was, I think the waiting table friggin' brought it this weekend. Like, from the very first day, from getting people out of their comfort zone, even though we weren't necessarily in our comfort zone, right? Like, I was nervous, but we got people out. Yeah, that's it. But to get people out, to start drinking, to start hanging out, to start just opening up conversations. We all had, little intro speeches, and I remember telling these guys, I'm like, no, we are going to show who we are. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to do dumb stuff. I'm going to embarrass myself.
Very dumb stuff.
He literally,
very dumb stuff.
Rob was like, "Is there any way I can show off my body in this situation?
Let's brainstorm, guys.
Do it." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah. let's whiteboard this. I'm just like, okay, so we did this, and I had a whiteboard behind me, and I'm
all
like,
the
we
pins
got
and
this and
art.
this. Which one leads to me showing my body? Is it this one? But even with the bariatric recipe thing, right? It was something different. And then we got to be serious in regards to the inspirational journey for men. So yeah, I thought that we did a great job with representing who we are and our podcast and how fun we are. And so I was very, very, very proud of us.
And if you guys want the same shirt that Rob wore on stage, 50% of the profits will go to the Breast Cancer Research Fund or Foundation. So I'll put a link in that for that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. It's a 3B now because you mentioned that. I'm also very proud of all the stuff that we're trying to do to give back to the community. Like the calendar, having all the men come up for the calendar, all the men take the pictures afterwards, even the night before on Friday. Yeah, it was amazing to see all the people support that. The amount of people who are just like, how can I pre-order this? And I was just like, I don't know. We haven't got there yet. And so I got on with WLSFA. I think it's Sunday, and we're like, people are asking for pre-order. He's like, okay, let's start talking about it and let's get that going. So lots of support for that. But I'm just honored to be able to give back to our community more, as many ways as possible. And there's going to be more coming up from the waiting table for that.
And speaking of the calendar, what's the plan for that? Do you want to let people know?
Yeah. So we have a bit of a timeline in regards to what we want to do. Obviously all of the professional pictures are going to be coming out in a couple weeks. So we are going to get those and see how they match up with the months, contact all the people who posed, and get some information from them to include in the calendar. We had some people who requested to be in the calendar who were not able to attend. And so we're working on ways to include them to maintain the continuity. It'll be really good. It'll be really fun and awesome. So the idea is once we get those pictures, we can start talking about it. We can start a pre-sale link. We can start promoting the fact that we can help someone from our community get this life-saving or life-changing and life-saving surgery. And we're hoping by mid-November, we will have them available for shipping and right in time for everyone to get it for Christmas. Your favorite bariatric stocking stuffer of Dem Thighs shirts and bariatric men calendars. So
the Rob starter kit. You can get a Rob, Shea, or Murph starter kit.
Yeah.
We might have to do some combos. And I think we might have to do some giveaways.
100%. We're going to do a lot of giveaways. Yes. We actually have a giveaway that we're going to be doing soon. I just need to think about how we're going to do it for our glittery water bottle that we had.
One that Rob actually had on stage that he touched with his burly hands.
Yeah, and grazed the thighs. We're going to have that. We're going to have that as a giveaway. A lot of people really like that bottle. People were asking, how do I get this bottle? We will get you that bottle. So we're going to let you know.
Giveaway coming.
100%. So yeah, I'm excited about that calendar.
I know we're like past time, but can we just briefly talk about Sunday? Because that was like a kick-ass day.
That was like the culmination, the perfect culmination of the weekend for me. Go ahead. Lead the way.
Me?
Whoever. I've talked too much, guys.
Okay. I'll go, and then I'll have Murph jump in. But Sunday was super cool. I have to say, Rob was the last person I saw at night and the first person I saw every morning. He just didn't sleep at all. So it was fun. I came down Sunday morning, and him and Murph had set up a lot of, or was it just you? I don't know.
No, Murph was there helping me.
Okay. There was stuff that was already set up. We moved the dining room table over like in the Airbnb to kind of like make it set up better. We got everything set up. I got breakfast going for our friends to get there, and doing the podcast live was so much fun. And I really want to do more live podcasts with these guys. But we had Jason from Barry Nation was there. We had Justin, we had Michelle, we had Jenna. We had Dee, we had Dylan. It was just so much fun. And I think we went for like 2
hours.
Yeah, 2 hours. And so we started at 8, and then we had to check out of the Airbnb by 11. So I don't know how we did all we did, but like it was incredible.
Yeah, it was amazing just being there and doing it with you guys, just sitting at the table. And we had mentioned, like in NSV, we're sitting on the same bench, and we all fit on that bench. The bench didn't break, so all great things. But yeah, it was just amazing to look at you guys when I actually speak instead of looking at the screen, looking at our guests when we actually speak and really interact. It was the most amazing thing. As much as the event was, a big highlight, that was my number one, doing the live podcast with you guys.
And if you guys missed that podcast, it's on YouTube. So if you just go to our live section, I think it's like about last night is what we named it. So that's all there, so you can watch it anytime.
Yeah. So that was amazing. Murph, how did you like it?
No, yeah, that was a great time. I couldn't believe how fast it went by. I mean, what was it? 2 hours, 2.5 hours?
Yeah, almost 2.5 actually.
Almost 2.5 hours, and it's just like it was unreal. And we had multiple cameras going, so we had Instagram, we had TikTok, we had YouTube, and and to have Jason there, not to mention he was, when we won our awards, he was the person that was at the bottom of the stairs when we got off the stage to give us hugs and to thank, to congratulate us. And what a stand-up guy. I mean, like he as far as just being a part of this community, I mean, he stands out as just a man's man and a gentleman, and he really sets the bar high. And so that was great having him there, and then Justin, of course, and Dee and Jenna, and everybody was there. That was great. And then from there, I don't know if you guys want to keep talking.
Yeah,
about
go.
But like from there, I don't, honest to God, remember what we did after that. I know we packed up. We had to get out of the house by 11, and I think we got out at like 10:59.
Yeah, it was like the Home Alone music. As we're all like trying to pack and clean, stuff groceries in Justin's car. He made out like a bandit.
And then we went to
Jamie's
book signing. Was that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the Benchy brunch, and then So I kept getting those two mixed up. I couldn't remember what we did after that. But yeah, then we went to Jamie Mills' book signing of
Easy Way Out.
Easy Way Out. Yeah.
It was awesome to do that. It was awesome to see her in her element and celebrate her and everything that she and her team have achieved with their book. And yeah, like I think a big part of it, we want to show up for all the people who support us as well, right? And we want to support the community as well. And it was amazing being part of that and being there and seeing we closed it down. We got and we got some really cool stuff that we're going to be working with Jamie with in the future. So that's going to be awesome to collaborate with her as well.
I'm excited to read her book too. I haven't started yet, but I'm excited.
Yeah. And then after that, where did we go, Shea?
So then we rushed over. We had so many Ubers, like it was crazy. It was just Uber after Uber. But then we went over to catch the tail end of the Benchy brunch. So that's our Sleeve Life podcast. That's their Patreon community, and that was super fun just to kind of say goodbye to people. And then from there, Rob, you take it away.
Yeah, we had been organizing with VIP Girl and Berry Adventures, Meg, the amazing Meg. We had been working with her about doing an event with the waiting table as a bit of a after party, last day, last hurrah, but something really casual. We'd been partying for the past few days, something where we can just sit down, hang out, have fun, be really casual and relaxed. So we did a bowling event at Pinstripes in Georgetown, and there was 20 of us, and it was exactly, I think, what everyone needed. That's what we were talking about, and all of us just sort of sitting and chilling and hanging out, talking. Yeah, and not having to worry about the show, how it's gonna run. I know with Mel and Kel and Sarah, they were there. Obviously they've been working so hard over the past few days. This was a very good um, release for them, and it was awesome to do that and share that. And yeah, we got that amazing picture before we left where it said where the magic happens, and then I had to leave, and it was very sad and very hard to go away from you guys, but it was like the perfect ending, and it was exactly that. It was magic for us. So yeah. Oh, sea salt caramel squares. I had that. I marked it in my I documented that in my thing. I'm like sea salt caramel squares.
I
Those
know.
are good.
Well,
Those
it
are
was
so
so
good.
great because Justin was there, like, because I had gotten some grocery stuff and I didn't want it to go to waste. So yeah, him and his family got some groceries. Hopefully that helped this week.
Yeah, Greek yogurt, protein, just everything. Because we obviously we thought we were gonna eat at the house a little bit, but
We were just
we're
out the whole
gone. We're
time.
gone
Like,
the whole time.
yeah, it was wild. It was awesome.
Yeah. So it was awesome. It was a great experience for me. I know, like I said, I will never forget this experience. I'll never forget the feeling of this experience while I was there. It was amazing for me. And all I can say is because I've had some people tell me, oh, they didn't know about the Just Be You Awards. And, what is that? Keep an eye out for it next year.
Yes.
There are other meetups for sure. There are a lot of smaller meetups. There's Bariatric Retreat. I know that I've had talked with people about that. So I can't really speak to that. I know that they have more workshops. It is educational in that sense. But if you have the opportunity to come next year, please do. And I think it's going to be a lot bigger next year just because the word's getting out.
Mhm.
But again, it's not even just about a meet and greet. It's about a celebration individually and collectively as a community. And the energy of being in a room where everyone just gets it. Everyone gets how you feel. Everyone knows because we've all felt it is amazing. And that alone is enough to go, that feeling alone. But hopefully you guys can join us again next year.
I know I'll be there.
I know
Sure.
I'll be there.
I know, I'm like, okay, I guess I'll be the only one's cool.
Murph's like, cool. Well, I already won, so I'm good.
So I'm not going back.
Yeah, that was awesome. And you know what? Like we were on TikTok, we were on IG Live, and we had a whole bunch of people jump on there to share the stories with us. Oh, look, Fat to Fit Gregory. I'm gonna put that here. I'll be there for sure. It looked like a blast. It will motivate me through the year. 100%, man.
Yeah.
I've actually thought the same thing. I'm just like, okay, well, I got stuff I want to do for next year. This is gonna motivate me to get that. So yeah, 100% use this as a way to be like, I'm looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to meeting these people, showing out. Yeah, it's unforgettable experience for sure.
Yeah.
You guys want to leave off with any parting words, Shea and Murph?
It's incredible. Find your people.
Yeah.
Do it.
Nice. I like that.
No, yeah, it was just life changing. It was a reset. It was a good reset, and getting to meet people that are the same as you, and you've got so much in common, and it was just a lot of love, a lot of positivity, a lot of support, and yeah, I mean the awards that we won, then just the nominations alone was enough for me. Like I couldn't believe the other people that were on those nomination those cards, and then we were chosen for the categories that we wanted. It's just unbelievable. So
incredibly humbling.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Closing words from you, but then also, do you want to talk about who's going to be on our show next week?
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about who's going to be on next week, just so I don't forget. So we're going to have Dr. Laura on next week. Dr. Laura is a bariatric therapist who's also nominated for a JB. Oh, there goes Murph. He's going to go pee, guys. She was nominated, for a JBY as well. So she'll be joining us. And as we know, this journey is 95% in here, and the rest is physical, right? And so we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about trauma. We're going to talk about the challenges that we have going through bariatric surgery and how we can lead to not just success in terms of losing and maintaining the weight, but success in regards to getting that happiness, maintaining that happiness afterwards. Because at the end of the day, this journey is about happiness more than it is about the number on the scale, right? So she's going to help us with learning about that. We got some other really, really cool things. I will say this. We are talking about our calendar for the rest of the year after all the amazing connections we've made. It's going to be a good one, guys. It's going to be a good next few months. We got some amazing, amazing, amazing guests coming. We're going to talk about some really, really cool topics and really highlight some of the things that the amazing people in our community are doing. So stay tuned. Thank you for supporting us from the very beginning. Dee, Mary, Justin, everyone, Savannah, thanks for supporting us throughout this whole journey through the past year and a half. We really, really do appreciate it. We made this podcast for you guys, for the community. And again, to be recognized by you guys, our community, has meant so much to us. We will continue to try to put out great, funny, educational content, but content that just provides value to you guys and your bariatric journey. I also want to say thank you to our Sleeve Life podcast. Thank you to Mel and Kel. Holy crap. Like, you guys are amazing for this community. Everything you do, all the awareness you bring, all the effort and time you put into it is massive. So obviously this could not have happened without you. But thank you so much, Sarah. Oh, Sarah with an H, as some say. Sarah is what we call her when she was on a live with us. I like that one better. Sorry, Sarah with an H. Sarah. Workhorse, did it all, right? All the planning, all the logistics.
Like, I would have been stressing out. Like, every time I saw her, she was just like smiling, like in her element. Like, she's so gifted in that way. I was just like, dang, girl, you're amazing. Yeah,
it was so awesome. So yeah, thank you, Sarah. All the sponsors. Oh my God. Like, again, this event could not have happened without everyone's, all your generosity and all the effort that you've put towards everything.
Dive Bar. I know there were more.
Tribe.
Yes.
Yeah,
Jamie,
right.
Art group. Amazing. How much longer do we need to stall?
That's exactly what I'm doing. Thanks, Murph. Hurry up.
Now he's eating a snack. Oh gosh, those are so good. Murph, do you want to just share real quick what those are? I want some. I need to order them.
It's a double chocolate chunk cookie.
Boom.
Just half.
I thought those were the Pro Care. That sounds good.
Oh, I wish. I already had mine for today. I can only have one a day.
Good call.
That's my limit, and I'm hiding them from my kids because they're just like devouring them. I just messaged Brenda earlier today. She liked my little video that I did.
Nice.
Like, seriously, my kids, like, they come home from school and they're like, "Can I have a chocolate?" I'm like,
"No,
yeah, just one a day." And it's gone on for a couple days now, and it's ridiculous. It's gonna stop because I'm not sharing these things.
They were so good. The dark chocolate. What were they called? Dark chocolate calcium.
It's a dark chocolate calcium supplement, but it's in a chocolate bar. And it's honestly bigger than I thought it was going to be. Yes. The bag was bigger than I thought it was going to be. And they taste way better than I thought they were going to taste. Like, it's like,
I need to put it in order.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So put in an order. They're coming out. I think they just dropped on yesterday.
Boom.
Because they only do it seasonally during the cold months because they can't ship them during the summer because they melt. That. Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's only a seasonal thing. So get them while it's cold.
Get him while it's cold. Get him while it's cold. Awesome. Well, again, we just went through the whole list of people to thank as we were waiting for you to come back from the bathroom, aka get snacks as well.
Did you time me, Shay? We talked about timing.
Yes.
I gotta be
go. Hurry up.
I know we're gonna incorporate some fun things that include Murph P. Maybe that's some ideas we were talking.
It happens every week. I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah.
We're gonna make it a fun game.
For sure. Yeah. So we went through everyone to thank, but most importantly, again, thank you guys. And thank you for joining us on another episode of the Waiting Table Podcast, where we're serving the weight loss community.
One pound at a time.
That's right. Have a good night, guys. Dance. You guys like how this has become a thing now without you knowing? I've said women.
Oh, man.
Just so you know, I save all my dancing for Neda.
Oh, dude, cut and a rub. There was a lot of dancing. We didn't even talk about that.
Her husband Chris was one of the greatest, one of the nicest guys there. I love talking to him. What a great guy.
Yeah, man, he was so good. Everyone was so freaking cool. spouses, we expect to see you guys at the next JBYs. It's gonna be friggin' awesome.
awesome.
Mary's gonna come. I told Mary if she's gonna come. She's like, yeah, I'd love to, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys, have a good night.